Okay. Garen, the implications of a Springbok win, I mean, Rob was saying earlier this week that it might not be a bad thing because then it will force the All Blacks to sort of regroup, have a flush out and be even more dangerous.
Yeah, interesting that former All Black coach Graham Henry actually said a loss wouldn't be the worst thing for All Blacks. They were going for the world record 18 wins in a row, then they drew with Australia. So we shouldn't forget that they're actually still unbeaten, even though they haven't got the win streak of 18. So they've won a couple of matches since then. I think in the back of all New Zealand fans' minds is they go through this unbelievable unbeaten patch and you get to the World Cup final next year and then they lose that one, or a semi-final. So, it's not the worst thing. It's certainly not unheard of in world sport for the second best in the world to beat the best. We act as though it's never been done before. I mean, that's all we really focused on. We're not worried about Australia or Argentina. It's just New Zealand. So, at home, at altitude, we should actually be favourites. I think, All Blacks are missing Dan Carter, Tony Woodcock, a number of players that we've mentioned already. The Springbok team, on paper, is as strong, if not better, I think, than the All Blacks at home. All Blacks, hats off to them. They've got the trophy already. They've got the Bledisloe Cup. They've got every other trophy in their cabinet. I think South Africa will win. It'll give them massive confidence heading into their end-of-year tour as well, which they've got a pretty tough tour. They're going to play all the top sides there. But that'll be a great learning experience for the World Cup, which will take place 12 months pretty much after that. So I think it'll just give them added confidence. Even though beating the top-ranked side when you are the second, playing at home, shouldn't really be a massive shock. But I think because it hasn't happened for so long, we're making it out to be this monumental obstacle that we just simply can't overcome.
I mean, almost rightfully so. Since the World Cup, which they won, was a squeaker, they've lost one game. They're unbeaten in 42 games, and they've got a 22 streak. So they're unbeaten in 22 games, lost one in 44. I mean, they are the best side in the world. But I mean, rightfully so. Second best team in the world should have a chance of beating the best side in the world at home. Here's hoping it happens.
And Tag, I know an area that I'm sure you'll be keen to keep your eye on is the scrums. I mean, we've had some really encouraging moments, some not so much this Rugby Championship. How do you see us scrumming against the set pieces? And then also, last weekend showed that, we can be expansive. The replacements did work this time. So.
Yeah, I think the scrum has probably been the biggest factor or worrying factor in this Rugby Championship. The Bajada, Argentina were just incredible. Some say they scrum illegally. I don't believe it. Both props scrum inwards. You either go up, down, or sideways. And you only went sideways, or you went up. You got eaten. And I think what the All Blacks do well is that they kind of they go backwards against the Bajada slightly, but they don't get hammered like the Boks got destroyed. Against Australia last weekend, they should have destroyed that front row. I mean, the Aussies have a weak pack. They didn't. They kind of got parity. The thing about the All Blacks, though, is that they sort of see the scrum as a way to restart the game. Sure, they're competent and they'll do well, but they don't go out to destroy. So I think up front, scrum-wise, we'll be okay. Beast, Jannie, and Bismarck's back. I mean, Bismarck for me is best hooker in the world. And he'll add a whole lot to both the scrummaging pack plus the breakdown. So I think we'll be okay on Saturday. I know Jannie comes in for a lot of stick. He's missed a lot of tackles, but he's a bloody solid tight head prop. He does the business for Meyer. So I think we'll be okay on Saturday. But there certainly have been some worrying factors. And then expansive, is without doubt where the game is going. And I think the All Blacks have shown us where rugby is going. They play a skillful ball in hand, heads up rugby. I think the box kick to a formula. So from 9, it's the box kick and chase. Or Willie de Roos is got the most kicks out of hand for the Springboks. So it goes to the back and then we kick. Whereas the All Blacks, from 9, they have a look and then they kick to see if they can get the ball back. Or they kick from 10 and 12 with a little dink over the top or a grabber to try and recollect. So I think they kick much more astutely. It's the same amount, sure, they kick the same amount as the Boks or a little bit less, but they kick more astutely. So I think key on Saturday is that, sure, ball in hand, Pollard taking the ball a bit flatter, it's wonderful to see. But you miss out on a little kick over the top and you're in trouble. And Willie le Roux's been a little bit off on. It's always tough in your second season. And he's going to have to watch those kicks over over the back. So I think the Aussies they kick the least out of all 4 sides. So if you've got a structured physical defence, which the Boks do have, you're normally okay, and hence they were okay at Newlands, even though they played poorly. But against a good kicking side like the All Blacks, you can't just keep ball in hand. You're going to have to be a little bit more clever. And I think, that's what it's going to take on Saturday.
Okay, well, Garen's given us his prediction. Let's have yours.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Boks. I think it'll be tight. If Vermeulen plays, then I'd be a little bit more comfortable. But even if he doesn't play, I've got a funny feeling the Boks should do this at Ellis Park. But, mosquitoes ball here. I'm saying 2-3 points.